Insiders, welcome to your Monday download on a Tuesday nonetheless. I apologize, yesterday was crazy and I just couldn't get this video done and uploaded for you on Monday. So here you have it, on Tuesday, better late than never. My apologies, sincere apologies for those of you that were waiting with bated breath for your Monday download, but here it is. So what we're going to talk about today is BPO packages. We've been talking about BPOs, we've been talking about pricing. For those of you who've watched really very many of my videos at all, or you've gone through our DVD training, you absolutely know that the BPO Factor and the Excite price system are the most important pieces to the short sale process. And within the BPO package today, we're going to be talking about the listing history and how that is the bridge between those two. It's the bridge between your pricing, the Excite price, and the BPO Factor, and why it's important to create that bridge. So let's talk first about the value and importance of the BPO package. Why is a BPO package important? Well, let me give you an example. Jessica has now started to do just a handful of BPOs, very small amount. She's not trying to become a BPO agent full-fledged or anything, but she does want some first-hand experience actually going out there, doing the BPO, sending in the report to understand from a BPO agent's perspective what is it that they need. And we had a great phone call several months ago with a BPO agent an interview with him that gave us some excellent content on how you can work well with your BPO agents. And so if you're part of our network, I highly recommend that you get back in there and listen to that before you have your next BPO. But bottom line is, it's a lot of work to do a BPO, and Jessica's realizing that it's a lot of work to do a BPO with not really a lot of monetary reward at the end. And so BPO agents are going to welcome you helping them out with a BPO package, which is just information that you know about the property that would be valuable and helpful when they do their report. They're going to welcome that. They're only going to welcome that, however, if you actually do a good job with it. If you give them information they can use. If you give them a bunch of garbage, they're going to be like, this is a waste of my time. What is this guy thinking? I could really make this house worth $30,000 just because this one 10 miles away was sold for $30,000. Obviously, you're not helping that person out because you don't realize that they have constraints within which they have to stay as far as areas and all those type of things. So I'm not going to go into that because we've done a lot on it. But so do your BPO packages, know that it's valuable, and not only is it valuable to the BPO agent, which is important, but it helps them get your perspective on the property listing, which is very important to the offer at hand. So let's talk about listing history. Let's talk about our bridge. Yesterday I was meeting a BPO agent at the property, and as a side note, you need to meet BPO agents at the property. I know some of the agents that we work with still are not doing that. They don't feel like it's that important. And I will tell you, if you're going to do short sales, you have to meet your BPO agent at that property. It's like, if you look at it from a court case standpoint, if you're an attorney that's arguing the case of your client, it would be like not showing up for the closing arguments. It's your last opportunity to make a case, to build your case for the judge or the jury before they go into deliberation to make a decision, to create judgment on your property. That BPO agent, they're the eyes and the ears of the bank, and they're about to create judgment on the value of that property. And that judgment of value is either going to make or break your short sale. And if it comes in wrong, there are ways to fight it, but it's a long uphill road. And if they came in at the right price, it would have been an approval and often done down the road. So for those of you that hate short sales because it takes so long, one of the reasons is the BPO comes in bad. If the BPO is coming in bad, then you're screwed. You're in trouble. I mean, you're going to have a long road ahead of you, and it may not go anywhere but foreclosure. So it's a waste of your time and energy, and it's a bad situation for your seller. So don't skip that BPO. You're really abdicating part of your duty as an agent if you do that. So somebody on your team or yourself needs to do that. And if it's someone on your team, you need to make sure that they're trained and understand how to do it. All right, I'm off my soapbox for getting out and being a BPO agent for now. All right, some of the first words out of this BPO agent's mouth when I met her yesterday were, I wish more agents started high and worked their way down to help justify pricing, which is what we recommend you do. And why do we recommend that? Well, because that BPO agent has to build her own case for the value she's going to give the bank. We all know short sales come in a little bit lower than traditional sales as far as value. And why would that be? Well, whether the banks like it or not, if I have two houses that are identical and comparable properties, one of them I can get a seller to give me a decision in 48 hours on whether or not they're going to accept my offer, and the other one is going to take me 60 days to get a decision from the bank. Is that really truly, from a buyer's perspective, the same value of that property? No, absolutely not. They're going to offer less money for the one that's going to take them 60 days. That's their reason for wanting to wait 60 days, is because they're going to get a good deal on the house. Just a reality. Well, by creating a listing history that starts up here where they're equal and then drops it down and gets to a point where you actually get an offer, and you've created that case as to the value, that helps your BPO agent. That's what she was saying. She was telling me about an agent that always starts really low. There's no way she can justify that value. If it should be selling at 150 in that market and you're starting it at 110, then that agent has no choice but to give you maybe 140. Maybe she gives you 150 because there's no data that shows that it's not going to sell for 150, and there's a lot of comps that show that it will. So make sure you're building your case. Really quickly, what I'd like to do, I had Jessica print me out some listing history. In our market, it's called Property History Detail. It's a listing history report on one of her listings. And I'm just going to go through it really quick. You'll notice that I made comments on this sheet. This would be something that I would give a BPO agent, and I would write in little comments. And what it does is really simply, every MLS has this. It's going to probably be called something different in your MLS. Call your multiple listing service and ask them, how do I get a listing history if you don't know how to do it? But it shows where you started your list price, your price changes throughout the listing history, all the way down to where you were when you got the BPO. So that would be where it's currently listed. So first one on this particular property is a low-end property. 89.9 is where it started. It was a little bitty one-bedroom house, and then she left it on there for 2 weeks, had 0 showings or phone calls. So I noted the 2 weeks here so that you don't have to make that BPO agent do the addition of the dates. You just say it's a 2-week period or 3 weeks, whatever you waited. 0 showings or phone calls. Okay, then we dropped the price to 79.9 and did the same thing, 2.5 weeks. No activity at all in that period of time. And then we dropped it to 69.9. At that point, we had 3 showings but no offers. Now, this is something I just whipped together for this video, but if I were really doing this in detail, I'd say 3 showings, no offers, and then I'd have the feedback from those 3 showings. You know, one of them may have given 0 feedback, and the second one maybe said that the price is too high. I think it should come in at whatever, $50,000, whatever their feedback is. And so you get all that feedback in there. Then the price dropped down to $60,000, and we got an offer at $55,000. So you can see that I've not left a lot up to imagination here. I've got obviously the very specific price drops and dates, how long that is, and then all of what was going on in that period of time, what was happening at the different price points. It proves what the property's not worth. It proves that it's not worth $79.9. It wasn't even close to what it was worth at $79.9, so nobody even put in an offer. Until we got to $69.9, there was not even an offer. Well, no, there wasn't even showings until $69.9. So by doing that, you're building your case for the BPO agent, who can then build their case for the bank. Now, as a side note, a caveat, in highly short sale REO driven markets, California, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Florida, places that have 60% plus short sale REOs, in those markets, you're not going to have to do this in most scenarios, because you have so many comparables that are already short sales, and you have fewer listings compared to buyers, so you don't have to have them sit on the market for 4 to 6 weeks. Your market may be 4 days, 2 days, and you have a lot of comparables. Start it where you have the comparables. And the trouble with a moderate market like a Seattle, for example, or Spokane, where we're from, is that you have some short sales, but you have a lot that aren't short sales, and so you have to build your case for what the value is in those markets. If you got a lot of strong comps and you have a huge number of short sales and REOs, you can utilize those as your comps, and then you can just start where you're going to get the listing. So your market will dictate some of that. So that's the core of what I want to talk about today. Obviously, if you have questions on this content, let me know. If you have questions on other stuff, please don't hesitate to send me questions. I enjoy answering questions. You can throw questions up on my YouTube channel. You can send me direct emails, whatever you like to do. Have a great week. Continue to be closing your short sales, and working your short sale listings that don't have offers to get offers. And we're heading into a new school year and into the fall, and so may we all have a successful fall of 2010. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. Bye.